Welcome back, folks. We're delving into some more deep thoughts with Jack Handy. What? Okay. Only a few of you guys will understand what that means. If you do, comment, I guess. I don't know. Don't want to ruin where it's from. Wish I was that poetic, though. Okay. Oh, there's a spirit pot running away. Speak to Fleek. Is he on Fleek? Is that who I need to talk to? Yep. Cubs are in danger. Cubs a sacrifice. Alrighty. So, in this delve, let's talk about how Shadowlands failed. And honestly, I don't think it's for the reasons that you might think. But who am I to know? Who am I to guess how you're thinking? God, that was presumptuous. So, why did Shadowlands fail? Or, well, I mean, it technically didn't fail, it's just, you know, why was Shadowlands not exactly what you might think? You know, or why was it a problem, maybe? So, biggest problem with Shadowlands and why it was not well received has more to do with lore than it does with anything mechanical. I know a lot of you all will be all like, but no, I had to grind, what was it, Covenant Tower Anima. I was grinding Anima and it made me feel sad, and you don't understand. I don't like feeling sad by grinding Anima. And I play this game so that it's a game, not so it's my job. And I get that, but it's World of Warcraft, people. Everybody plays this game in some way to greater or lesser extent, as if it were their job. That's just the nature of it. Oh, who died? Silverfos, Arctic. Oh, here we go. We're gonna kill this thing.
I don't think so.
Damn. Was that a Lear or something else? I think it was. Good God. I feel small looking at this whole damage meter down there. Okay, they were killed by a flesh-warped abomination. Well, I don't see any of these at this map, so there we go. So, Shadowlands failed not for any mechanical thing, but just for lore. I mean, as far as mechanics go, it's pretty easy to argue that it was one of the best expansions, or one of the better expansions. Like, it had a lot going on with it that made sense mechanically. The raids were some of the best that were ever done, certainly at the Royce World first level,
My loyalties are my
which,
own.
good God, and like, they probably literally produced the hardest heroic raid that they've ever made. Just straight up, I never ever want to do the Jailer again, as is pretty obvious if you haven't figured it out right now. I play at a, you know, ahead of the curve level. I don't play at a very super high level. I'm okay with that. I get Keystone Legend, and then I don't really want to push too much further than that, simply because I don't enjoy it. Stop it, guns.
I don't have a target.
You know, if I know I just made fun of, you know, the whole it's a game mentality, but it is a game, and I have no real desire to play, you know, it as if it's not a game, as if I should do something even if I find it unenjoyable. Like, I'm not doing Prey at all, and certainly not Nightmare Prey. And I like the Prey system in some ways because it gave me an extra something to do while I was in a zone. But in general, Nightmare Prey, I don't find it difficult or challenging. But I do find it... Oh, there's a Flesh Warped Abomination. We need to avenge that young person who passed away so suddenly, whose grave we just saw.
This is for you.
It's our duty. Okay. So yeah, I don't feel like there's a need for me to play a game if I am not enjoying myself. Lord. Caught up on a thingy. So yeah,
Something first.
Jailer ahead of the curve, like, that was a hard-ass fight. And it was a hard-ass fight for all the reasons that I would expect a, fight to be a hard-ass fight. Everything from, so much individual responsibility. Like, that was the big thing with Shadowlands, and that's the thing I don't think people quite understand. Especially for, like, higher-end guilds, that they're like, how can you guys be so bad at this game? But yeah, when you get mechanics that hit everyone, like the match game mechanic on Anduin, or I'm trying to think of other ones. You get something where somebody needs to run out, and it goes to one guy that's like a superstar that no matter what mechanic they get, they absolutely destroy it. Cool. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, I mean, you're good. You're done. Who died there? Dark Astrid. Let's find out what Dark Astrid died to. Maybe we can avenge them. Wrathshell Consumption. I think those might be the guys that we just killed. Yep, we got you. Congrats, Dark Astrid. We have avenged you. Feel at ease and loved. So, yeah, like, raid-wise, it was great. Torghast, much maligned actually, but a lot of Torghast, this will be a different rant, I think, but let's just say Torghast isn't as bad as people think. The Maw was not super terrible, though I understand why people have feelings about it, and they are legitimate feelings, and they do matter, but, not being able to mount was horrible, but it was pretty easily to, get by.
No more.
So, yeah, let's see, yeah, the anima typically gave you a reason to be in a zone, and I am always down for a reason to be in a zone. Oh, cool. I've got ghost low weapons with me now. I'm down for that. That's cool. The various anima powers were actually really cool. Some of them I really wish they'd bring back. Like, I'm currently playing a warrior. I don't know if I can tell you just how cool Condemn was. Like, especially for Prot, which seems weird, but yeah, Prot Warrior, especially now, would be really nice to be able to have that. Simply because Prot Warrior, well, it's just nice to have a lot going on, and it would also be a great way to it would also be a really great way to have something that does more damage, as well as something that provides a way to spend your resources while also giving you defense. Like, that's the big thing with Protection Warrior is you are spending your rage and you are either using it for ignore pain or you are using it to okay, how many are we down? We've got one more guy and we need to find the
I must get closer.
banner somewhere. Okay.
Be quiet.
So yeah, a lot of tanks have the ability where you are either doing damage or you are,
Can't catch us.
you know, or where you're not doing, I completely love that. So with Prot Warrior, you are making a conscious choice about whether or not you want to do damage by spending your rage on
They will know what hit them.
Ignore Pain, or sorry, your rage on Revenge, or whether or not you want to relieve, some of the damage you're taking by spending it on Ignore Pain. So you're either spamming Ignore Pains or you're spamming Revenges. And that's your damage cycle right there. One or the other.
This beast has
Okay,
value after all.
get some of this. This beast has value after all. Cool. Okay, there's the guy over there. We'll go get that. And Condemn allowed you to combine that because your Execute would not only do damage, but it would also put a shield upon you.
This is for you.
And that was really, really helpful. And
Quick to count.
Execute does a lot of damage. And it's a fun ability to push. And if you're like, one of the big things here is like when I'm playing Fury, my Execute is a builder, and when I am playing Arms or Prot, my Execute is a spender, and it's typically a good spender. I mean, you get a lot of damage out of it. Although I feel like it's a heavier hitter for, oddly enough, Prot in comparison to Arms, which seems weird. I mean, I get that they've made some changes to that, but it still feels weird.
Bounty from nature.
Bounty from nature. Wipe your butt with it. It's bounty. Toilet paper from nature. So yeah, there's Condemn. There was Slappy Hands, which they finally just had to get rid of because it was just too damn good. That's the mass death grip that all the DKs could have, which was going to... I mean, they knew it was going to be a problem when they introduced it because they literally had taken mass grip away from DPS DKs at the end of Warlords of Draenor. There's that. I actually really liked the giant blue puddle that DKs would get. Trying to remember what other spells there were. God, Primordial Wave was really good. I loved Bone Dust Brew, and I was really sad when they took that away. I actually think they should bring Bone Dust Brew back, but not as a separate button, especially now that they finally removed some of the button bloat that Brewmaster had. My God, what the hell was up with that? They just had so much going on with them. Like, playing a Brewmaster, I felt, was like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. So, there's all that, and
Make haste.
first mask.
I need to target something.
Convoke the spirits, which they had to thin down quite a bit. Like, there was just a lot going on, and it was really cool, and they brought a lot of it forward, as they typically do whenever something has a lot of stuff that's really cool.
We have a fish.
Hey, I got a lucky Loa. And a fishing skill. And found a treasure chest. Man, my poor parrot, it hurt itself. So yeah, Shadowlands, not a bad mechanical expansion, a very good mechanical expansion. Great raids, dungeons, they've brought several back. They were, I don't want to say all bangers. Sanguine Depths can go take a flying leap. But most of the dungeons were bangers. I actually really liked the tournament one. You know, I wish that they had more going on with that. But it failed in the lore department. One of the big reasons it failed, you only run into like one hero, kind of, that's shown to literally be from another culture. And, you know, that's the Princess Abomination, which very well could be like a Ghost Sethrak person. So it's like the Shadowlands is supposed to encompass all of reality, but it seems like everybody is much more about like, hey, look, here's just all the people from Azeroth. And that's just disappointing. Because I wanted more than just the people from Azeroth.
I don't have a target.
This is to say nothing of
I don't think so.
the rest of the whole storyline. I mean, like, I get what they were going with Atal'Aman, and they did a pretty good job. I think the Honor Harrington books actually did a better job regarding the idea of emasculation and handling, you know, basically being raped as a man. But, you know, like, there's the tiny Arthas, which, you know, might have been actually cooler if we'd ran into Arthas during, you know, going into the actual Maw, like finding him there. They really crap on Uther, because they turn Uther from, you know, this paladin who honestly was about forgiveness, but also accountability. Like, we've dealt with his ghost and stuff, so we know what he's down for. We know what he stands for. And he doesn't stand for jack diddly crap. Except like, oh no, you can't actually take these people away. Okay, oh, we got a spirit flare here to kill.
I'm out of range.
This is for you. Can't catch us.
I must get closer.
I need to get that. You know, I think that particular mechanic of go find your soul, I mean, that's from Shadowlands. So, yeah, just a lot of the things from Shadowlands, at least lore-wise, they felt really silly. Probably an easy one to talk to too, which actually ended up being a mechanic or mechanical part of Shadowlands, would be soulbinds, where when we're first introduced to them, you get the idea that it's a major thing. And then when you actually play the game, it's like, okay, pick your covenant and then you get some extra crap. And I sort of whatever.
I need to target something first.
Nice. they lacked weight
One
eventually.
moment.
They were supposed to be, at least as they're hyped up when you first enter the Heaven Zone, which is its own problem. God, that place was so freaking blue. Hurt my eyes just thinking about it. Uh, you know, that entire storyline where they talk about soul binding is that it's this big important thing. And then for your character, it's just like, well, who do you want to be your buddy? They have some benefit. And it just felt lesser because of that. Cool. Oh,
Too far
can't
away.
open that yet. Let's see when that goes last. Got my bounty. Buy that. Suck down that. This and this. What are you selling now? That thing and that thing? Okay. Just the lore let me down a lot in Shadowlands to the point where it really felt much less important to. The game became more about playing the game than experiencing the story. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely made the game less. When it suddenly turned from being able to talk about what you were excited with about the story of WoW and where they were taking things and why they were doing them, and instead turn them into a thing that you just complained about because they took a lot of your favorite characters and just sort of made them dull. And even now, like, I would consider the storyline of the game to not be good. And don't get on me too badly with that because I do think they are doing some really cool and interesting things with Midnight. But the overreaching story is not one of them. What they have done instead is given us some amazing big nets. And those I'm really enjoying. Like The Low of Children is such a good story. The oh, the girl that does the test of courage and jumps off the river, that story was really good. The bad guy that you're working for in the Void Storm that is so comically evil and doesn't care, and you know that he is. That is amazing. But for the most part, I'm happy to bounce around and stuff, but like the story of the elves all coming together, I don't care. I really don't care about them. Uh, I think Erethdor is serviceable, but a very boring combination of edgy design plus childishness. I mean, the guy's like 40 years old in game time. And don't be all like, well, he's a half elf and they're going to develop more slowly. Dude's able to make babies. And that is by far the biggest determination of whether or not someone is an adult in a society. That they no longer need to be able to be looked after. When they are able to, you know, make their own children, the expectation is that they will be able to provide for them in some way. That's just kind of how societies go. And if he's old enough that he's able to make a baby, and he's been old enough to do that since Shadowlands, which in game time, or not Shadowlands, since Burning Crusade, which in game time is something like 15 odd years ago, and he was like in his at least teens, if not 20s, when he entered Burning Crusade, then he is definitely able to make them now, and he needs to grow up some. Anyhow, Like, comment, subscribe, tell me all the ways that I'm wrong, tell me all the ways that I'm right. And have a good night.